excellent, guys. Now, most of you, when you see this sign on a website or somewhere, right? I mean, you're like, oh my God, these guys are not ready. But I personally love this site, right? You see under construction anywhere and I'm drooling. And the reason is, under construction means they still need me. I'm India's #1 marketplace for construction material. And once the under construction sign's gone, my customers are done. Who am I? I'm someone like you. I'm a techie. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I'm good at sales, so I can program in the morning and sell in the afternoon. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a couple of startups already. I have one acquisition in New Jersey and Florida, with 2 offices in New Jersey and Florida. And I have one RFID tech company, which is going okay. It's not going anywhere. And now I've started this one, and we'll see how it goes. Now, what's the problem I'm trying to solve for my customers? Buying construction and building material is a pain for 2 types of customers. The small and medium builders and what I call the independent home builders, people like you and I who are not full-time builders, but we happen to want to build something. Let's prove this. If I had more time, I'd ask all of you to call your friends or, ask people sitting next to you, have you ever bought construction material on, for a recent project? How good or how convenient or how easy was it? That is bottom line the pain point we are trying to solve. There are lots of more detailed areas in this which I can go through in detail, but the primary areas are logistics, opaque prices, limited selection, and trust, right? And there are about 1,800 categories. I'm not talking SKUs, categories in construction material, and no one upsells and cross-sells. The cement guy sells cement, the steel guy sells steel, the plywood guy sells plywood, and that's it. Right? They don't talk to each other, they don't cross-sell. Now, why do the SME guys need me? Any place you go to, take Bombay for example, right? If Hiranandani has a project here, they have sort of set the high water mark for how much a project can be sold for in the area. So if Hiranandani says 50,000 rupees a square feet, all the other smaller builders definitely cannot go over that, right? I mean, because then you're going to say that, why would I pay you 50,000 when I can go buy a Hiranandani flat for 50,000, right? So they're stuck over there. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, when they're buying the construction material, the big builder is doing multiple projects, so he's getting, scale, and he can buy it for much cheaper. So this guy is squeezed on the bottom and he's squeezed on the top. I can't do anything about the top. I can't get him to sell his flat for more than what, the other guys are selling for. But can I reduce his cost when it comes to construction material purchase? That's what we're trying to solve, and we'll see if we can do that. Now, who is the industry, or what is the industry I'm targeting? As of 2013, India's GDP, $153 billion was the construction industry. This includes highways, malls, buildings, everything. And about 74% of that is purely construction material. Right? You're not talking labor, you're not talking transportation. That is the size of the industry we are looking at. That 74% number is from Tata Steel, so I'm fairly certain it's reliable. Why is the opportunity so big? 95% of the market is SMEs. SMEs is basically a construction company with under 200 employees. These are the guys who need me the most, and there are a lot of them available all over India. I'm going to skip through this for time. Now, what's my solution? Basically, I fight for the small guy. I make sure he can then fight the bigger builder in his area and compete properly. If I can do that, I'm done. Right? That's bottom line what I give to my customers. And I solve these things the way I explained the problems earlier. Logistics, we do real-time, status of the order and where the vehicle is. Transparency in pricing. Now, this is very important because usually an individual, when he's buying, has to go through multiple shops and do this regularly. We do this work for them. We give them a large selection, and we give them trust as a single point of contact. And let's not forget the bonus problem. 1,800 categories that we talked about. We have only done 11. We just have 1,789 more categories to sell. And we'll be done. Okay, that's our business model. So the way we do it is we aggregate demand on the customer side, and then we place aggregated orders on the suppliers. So to a vendor, I am a large buyer. I'm suddenly buying 200 trucks from him, which a customer otherwise would never go and buy. And we're getting the 2 benefits. We're getting the benefit of price, and we're getting the benefit of better service. I've consistently had this problem where, a customer who bought a very small amount of cement from us had a problem, right? And the next day we had a representative from the cement company go to his site and talk to him. And, the guy called me back. He's like, what strings did you pull to get this guy? And I'm like, I didn't pull any strings. I didn't tell him what we did, but here's what we did. That customer is only a 1 truck customer for the cement company. But I am a 500 truck customer to the cement company. they better not piss me off. And it's only going to go up from here. This is our competitive advantage. One last slide. And this is our potential. We are on the bottom left right now. We can sell some stuff to some people right now. We can expand right, which is selling more stuff to the same people in one city. Expand top, selling same stuff to more people. But where I want to be is on the top and the right. Chroma is not the Best Buy of India. Flipkart will be. Home Store will not be the IKEA of India. Urban Ladder or one of these guys will be. I will be the Home Depot of India. Let's skip through this. Thank you.
Sounds like a really interesting idea. Always interesting to see different, different vendor-supplier relationships which can be disintermediated, maybe vendor-customer relationships that can be disintermediated by the internet. One of the things I'd ask is this a true many-to-many business? Because while on the customer side, very fragmented, on the supplier side, I'm not sure how fragmented it is. And I think it's also relevant that when you look at local markets, I mean, the cost of logistics for moving any of these construction materials around, I'm sure is prohibitive. So customer has to work with local suppliers. Aggregating supply across the country may not necessarily be relevant. So can you build a true many-to-many? Maybe there's a long tail of materials that have,
Sure.
but steel, cement, I'm not sure.
I'll try to answer that.
Yeah.
Again, steel and cement are the two outliers when it comes to this. But if you look at plywood, bathroom fittings, pipes, electrical cables, switches, all of these, suddenly it's not so much of a problem. End of the day, what I am building is hyper-local. We are more hyper-local than the vegetable guys because they can still put it in a freezer van and send it from Bombay to Pune. We can't even do that. Now, is it many-to-many? Yes, it is. Who we are disintermediating is the local retail stores, not the distributors. The distributors have a lot more heft. There are multiple distributors for every item in every city. We still work with them. So our vendor partners are the distributors, right? We don't have a warehouse, and I don't see ourselves owning a warehouse anytime soon. We are what is known as a managed marketplace. We own the customer relationship. We bill the customer talks to us, not to the vendor directly, right? And this is how sticky we are. I mean, we have 46% of our clients who come back for a second order, and that is the most important metric because I can get someone to buy from me the first time because my prices are low. But the second time onwards, my service better have been great.
Does he buy the same thing or does he buy a different thing? It's more interesting when he buys a different thing.
He buys both. So construction goes slowly up the chain. When you start off, you need cement and steel. Then you slowly need bricks and sand. Then you slowly need plywood for your furniture. Then you slowly need wires and pipes. And we have customers who have gone through the chain with us, who consistently, I want to be with the customers from the day he digs his foundation, and he should be inviting us for his housewarming.
If you're not holding inventory, how come you are able to aggregate all the demand?
So there are two ways we do this. Number one is we get aggregated pricing based on our previous month's order volume. So sort of, we've been able to convince vendors to trust us enough that, hey, listen, we gave you 500 truckloads last month. So this month we'll at least give you 500, if not 700, right? And one of the things that our customers like about us, I'm happy to tell this audience, is I can ship you a truck of cement faster than Flipkart can ship you a cell phone. Thank you.